Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay Wilder, Francis Ngannou. Get this. Deontay Wilder reveals the conversations that he had with Francis Ngannou, and he said, I want it in Africa.
Boom, bye, yeah.
Former WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder is the latest to throw his hat in the ring for a show or shot at the Cameroonian. Ngannou became the first reigning champion to leave the MMA promotion since BJ Penn in 2004, when his deal expired last month, but the most devastating finisher in the UFC history is not short of options. While the other promotional outfits such as PFL, Bellator, and BKFC are showing interest, it appears that Ngannou fancies trying his hands at boxing. Already the likes of Tyson Fury, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, Derek Chisora has called Ngannou out. However, in recent interview with Trill Boxing Talk, Wilder revealed details of a conversation he had about a possible fight back when he was still in the UFC. And this is what Wilder said. He said, I'm still interested in that fight. I would love to do that one in Africa. We talked about it when he was with Dana White. Me and Dana sat down and talked about it. I told him if it makes dollars, it makes sense. I'm very interested in it. If he wants a showdown, then let's do it. Those are the words of Deontay Wilder. He also threw this in the hat. He said, let's make it a two-fight deal. Everybody always come to boxing. Let's do this. You come to my sport, I'll come to yours. You come to my house, I'll come to yours. I'm a true warrior. I'm serious about that too. I want to do something different since everybody's doing this crossover between combat sports. Let me counterpunch. Wilder and Ngannou. The last performance of Deontay Wilder, he looked fast, he looked quick. The power is definitely there, and I think it's more power because I believe speed is power, and I think the smaller Wilder is, the more dangerous he is. Now, two-fight deal, yes, it only makes sense and it's only fair if they do it on two different platforms. I mean, really do it. I don't mean get in the cage like Tyson Fury with the same gloves and you can't do the same rules in the cage. It makes no sense. You might as well have it in the ring because it doesn't matter. What Wilder suggests is he goes into the cage and takes on Francis Ngannou there. Well, here's the problem with that. Deontay Wilder's not a UFC fighter. Francis Ngannou's not a boxer. So, will it be mixed rules? And even if it is mixed rules, that means Deontay Wilder is going to have to train UFC of some sort. He's going to have to put those legs to some use. He's going to have to get down and dirty. He's going to have to know how to activate and exercise a takedown, a tackle, because what could happen in the UFC couldn't happen in the boxing ring. In the boxing ring, he gets caught with the right, he might be out, and vice versa, maybe. But, you know, in the cage, he gets caught with the right hand, he may be able to get and slip and dive and tackle Wilder and just beat the brakes off of him. They're two different sports. You hit somebody in boxing and you think about hammer fisting them while they're down on their back. You can't do that shit in Queensberry rules in boxing. There's none of that in boxing. So yeah, it will have to be a spaced out ordeal where Wilder has to have the opportunity to train, and so is Ngannou. Because we don't really know how good a boxer he is. How is his skills now? We seen him working with Teddy Atlas, and we seen Atlas working with him. But, you know, how often has he done that? Was that just a crash course, or was that just this time that Teddy Atlas inspired him to work on a few things, you know, outside the ring during training concerning boxing? Okay, so we really don't know how much training Ngannou really has. We do know he's a hot property, and it just shows you how UFC, MMA, Bellator, all of that has grown. Okay, farther past boxing in the U.S. That's all that means, because everybody is jumping on Francis Ngannou like a cheap suit, and it shows. You know what I mean? They talk more about Francis Ngannou now than they do about Anthony Joshua, and everybody knows he's pretty much the cash cow. Ask Jermaine Franklin, ask Andy Ruiz, ask these guys. But seriously, Africa would be a superb deal, and I suggest anybody with African blood that claims African blood. I mean Anthony Joshua, I mean Joe Joyce, I mean Derek Chisora. You know, those guys, I think those fights should go to Africa. I think they should bring things back to Africa to promote that particular part of the world. Okay? Because I think that could get a lot of buzz over there. You know, when Ali did something special with George Foreman over there in Zaire, you know, and I couldn't speak of a better place for it to be done, despite what was going all around with wars and stuff back in those days. I think it's time that someone did it again, and we haven't seen it since Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis, if you guys can remember. Another African thing. TIA, baby. This is Africa. That's where they need to bring it back to. Okay? If he's strong about that, let's just not talk about it. Let's walk about it. Let's do it. I like the idea, but it just shows you that Francis Ngannou has options. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder stating that he would love to fight Francis Ngannou on a 2-fight deal in the cage, in the ring, in Africa. It ain't no thing. Bars. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.